Hello viewers, welcome to Mantan TV. One nation, one card is the discussion around going these days. So we have CA Hanumanlu sir with us. Let's take a look into this and get a briefie on the situation. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
These days there is a discussion going on regarding this card. Whatever the cards we have, that is Aadhaar, PAN, other voter ID cards, and they're declaring to get a one card.
To be frank, many of the developed nations are using only one sophisticated identity card, maybe citizenship card or social security card or some other way of format. One only the ID is sufficient to prove the citizenship of that country, citizen of that country. Whereas in the country, which having so much of population, 140 crores population, and incomes ranging from lowest income to highest incomes.
Yes.
Differentiate means wide gap between incomes.
Yeah.
Wide gap between assets. Wide gap between needs. Wide gap between their vision, their expectations. So all they are forcing us to have different supporting to the citizens by the government. So one ID may be sufficient, but what is happening is one person out of 140 crores people, only 20 or 30 crores people may need support from the government.
Yes.
And others may not need it.
Yeah.
Or I can say even if the 140 out of 140 crores also, even many of the people may not be required also.
Yes.
But what's happening is, suppose an employee is working in a government office. He is assured of health care by the government.
Yes.
He needs separate identity. And poor people who are living on the support of food grain supply from the government, they need other
ID card.
Other IDs.
Yes.
And healthcare system, senior citizens healthcare is different. Driving license is different. Voter ID is different. For income taxpayers, PAN card is different. So all these are making different IDs for different purposes. Of course, it may be made into one ID, so one comprehensive ID that may be sufficient. But because of this gap, so many expectations, and so many
necessities.
It is feeling that it is necessity. Of course, it is not required.
Okay.
See, PAN card came into existence 30 years back.
Yes.
At that time, there was no digitalization.
Yeah.
Physically, we had to give our photo and we used to get black and white card. Now, after from last 5 to 10 years, digitalization infrastructure improved. So we can have everything in the one card itself.
Yes.
That is possible. So recently, income tax people are thinking of having two options, PAN and Aadhaar.
Okay.
Or PAN or Aadhaar. You can mention anything for filing the returns.
Okay.
That option was given. Of course, PAN was compulsory. Aadhaar is optional.
Okay.
Even for bank accounts also, PAN and Aadhaar is happening.
Yes.
Many people didn't have bank accounts. Based on Aadhaar only their accounts are opened. At Jan Dhan Yojana accounts.
Yes.
So this is creating a lot of confusion. So what is expected is better to have only one ID, and because of advanced technology, digitalization, it is possible.
Okay.
The only thing is sufficient checks should be there, verification should be there digitally, not manually.
Yes.
So then it will be better. And but the same purpose only, Income Tax Department is coming forward, PAN card 2. Digitalized PAN card. Digitalized PAN card that will be sufficient. We need not have physical PAN card with us. That one comprehensive card may be sufficient to take care of. Of course, there is a government is ready to develop a UDI, the chairman for this Aadhaar card scheme. So government is ready to do one comprehensive card for the purpose of taking healthcare residence status, and economic support, all these things for identity also it is possible. But what is happening is frequent changes in names,
Yes.
religion,
Mobile
or
numbers.
maybe caste, address. Main changes will come on address.
Yes. Address and mobile number maybe.
Address maybe sometimes mobile number also. So this is making somewhat difficult for 140 crores people. Of course, the idea is better to have a one single
One
ID, one nation, one ID sufficient. But how far it is practicable, and how far it can be implemented, it cannot be discontinued old system and it cannot be started new system.
Yes.
So what we have to do is simultaneously we have to start. What we have to do is first, so for many purposes you take Aadhaar as a basis,
Yes.
even for healthcare, even for food subsidy, for food support schemes, financial support, MSME loans, or micro loans, or agriculture loans, agriculture support. For everything, if that is started based on this, even bank accounts are also Aadhaar based. Of course, all bank accounts are Aadhaar based.
Yes.
Even PAN card also Aadhaar based. Voter ID.
Yeah.
Let all this can be done in one sophisticated single identity sufficient. But what is happening recently? Some judicial judgment came from highest apex court, Supreme Court, that Aadhaar cannot be a basis for Aadhaar cannot be a evidence for residential status and age. For this purpose, what the Supreme Court said is the education qualification, education certificates are a basis.
Okay.
So this makes changes. It is not uniformity. There is something different in education certificate. There is something different in PAN card, Aadhaar card, health card, driving license. All are different changes are there. Maybe some uniformity is not there. First, what we have to do is we have to make it uniform first. Means all the records should be uniform. Then we can go for
One card.
Of course, it takes some longer period. But this is a good idea. Every developed nation is having only one identity, one ID for their citizenship authentication. The same way that can be taken up. But that identity should be, there are so many identities in India, Aadhaar card, PAN card, voter ID, overseas citizen of India, ration card, rural job and health cards. And there may be some, all these cards may be converted into one ID, that is with the same basic information, date of birth, name, gender, address, and some other information required. Maybe health information. Because it will be very much useful when there is a emergency,
Yes.
maybe accident or some serious ill health. That may be useful for that. This multiple card, of course, this multiple card system, IDs, is causing a lot of confusion, a lot of misuse by ineligible people. Then what is happening is there are some people who are having lakhs of rupees of income and crores of rupees assets. Even then they are claiming advantage of support from the government, freebies.
Yes.
Maybe food grains or financial support or health support. See, all this is because using the loopholes. Because one card is showing one information, other card is showing other information. And the other one card is showing other. To plug all these loopholes, one identity is better. And based on this multiple card system, middlemen also taking advantage of these freebies. Means ineligible are getting benefits, but the real people, eligible people may not be able to get sufficient benefit on time. Support from the on time. Of course, direct benefit transfer is helping to reach the funds allotted directly to reach the person, to the beneficiary. But identification of person, selection of person, and what is called who is the eligible beneficiary, all this depends upon the identification. So this process requires a lot of change, and all this process can be done perfectly if there is only one ID system is there. That is possible. And what is happening is, in many of the cases, when a person is purchasing a property, while registering, of course now it is not possible. Earlier while registering you used to give Aadhaar card. And purchasing another property used to give PAN card.
Hmm.
And purchasing a third property used to give voter ID.
Okay.
And fourth property used to give driving license.
Hmm.
So all this is happening. Lot of course, the same person purchasing property 4 times, but using different IDs. So thereby you could avoid the payment of taxes, due taxes to the government. Of course, now it is
Not
that
possible.
plug is loophole is plugged. Now it is not possible without Aadhaar or PAN card.